Hi, I'm Dr. Jim, neurologically focused chiropractor here in Arvada, Colorado. Today we're going to talk about ADHD and what does that look like in individuals that have ADHD? How do they manifest life? Well, the classics of ADHD are inattention, impulsivity, hyperactivity. Now keep in mind that ADHD, if understood, certainly by the individual with ADHD, can be an incredible superpower. And that's hands up, okay? So even though there's an inattention challenge with ADHD, the other side of that is hyper-focused. So for my example, if I'm doing woodwork or if I'm literally adjusting, at that moment, I am so hyper-focused on what I'm doing, a train could go by and I wouldn't even notice it, So it's interesting when you recognize these traits and you use them for your benefit. I mean, it's an incredible superpower. There's also a disorganized part of ADHD. There is poor time management. I jokingly have always said that my time management is, I think I'll do this now. So not a lot of management. And poor planning. It's also easy to have a low frustration tolerance. You just get a little bit frustrated a little faster than you should. Sorry, anybody out there that's experienced that from me. It's not on the autism spectrum. There's some debate over that because these conditions are all neurologically based. There's very, very little or no evidence that they're genetically based. There's a hint of that, but it's just not coming out in research. But even autism is still a similar trend of hyperactivity in your sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight system, which in the very, very non-aggressive forms will manifest as ADHD, but certainly not autism. So officially right now, science has the CDC has it as not in the spectrum, but there's, I guess, a little open debate on that. Some of the other challenges that might happen is poor sleep. Now for me, that's not true. My wife would, in a frustrating way, say, yeah, Jim can sleep standing up. So it just depends on the individual, but that's a common trait. But poor sleep can aggravate the condition of ADHD. Inattention, those can all be aggravated by poor sleep. Can certainly be aggravated by high emotional stress, maybe a life event, and can easily be aggravated by poor nutritional stress, things that are producing toxicity in your body. It's not a really uncomplicated discussion that if anything comes against you, whether it's physical, emotional, or chemical, so diet, lack of exercise, lack of proper movement, and certainly high emotional stress, all of these reduce every physiology in our body, everything. So whatever might be under the covers just a little bit might show up in those situations. And a future point on that is that if you take that symptom, if you will, now my elbow hurts because a woman is on her cycle, or gee, now I have a headache because I haven't drank water. It kind of means that you're kind of vulnerable in those categories. So absent of the stressors that may cause the elbow pain, or absent of the stressors that may cause the headaches, there's a little underlying factor there. And if you recognize the symptom outside of the stressor, you can really work on it. You can improve it, like do exercises for your elbow absent of pain. Do better nutrition absent of a headache. You want to be proactive in life, not just reactive, as obviously most of us understand. There's some benefits, as I mentioned earlier, to HDA. Hyper-focused, I talked about that. Creativity, it's an incredible benefit in ADHD because of the hyper-focus. You just get so zoned into what you're doing, and that can be in writing, that can be in art, that can be in building. It's just that creative mind really does shine in ADHD. Conversational skills, you're a good talker. My wife has another little joke she talks about, and it's a reference taking from a newscast person, but he said that on his epitaph was going to be, he finally stopped talking, and my wife kind of says that about me. And then we've had multiple children in our office that had speech delay, and then they start talking a lot, and she just thinks it figures that Dr. Jim would help these children talk a lot. It's kind of like contagious or something. So it was kind of fun to talk about over dinner. You're also good at being spontaneous. ADHD people are really good at just like changing their direction, remember, sometimes you get hyper-focused once you change, but you can definitely change really well. And an abundant amount of energy. That's also been said about me quite a bit, that I'm just like the Energizer Bunny. You never kind of turn off, just go, 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 go. Now, let's just end this with a couple of points. First off, attached to this video are some other references on ADHD that are brought to us by the PX family out in Illinois. Second to that, I want to mention to you, there have been some very, very famous people in our world that have done very, very amazing things for humanity that were diagnosed with ADHD. Mozart, for one. Einstein, Thomas Edison, Leonardo da Vinci, even incredible athletes like Simone Biles, or this won't be a surprise, Jim Carrey. But I want you to know that if you really recognize this, and then you work on who you are, not only how to understand ADHD and how to use it as a superpower, but work on your 3 elements that we're all responsible for. It's how you think, how you eat, and how you move. So good nutrition, good movement, and good emotional stability. And if you pay attention to your neurological function and integrity, which to be simple is your job in that area is just don't screw it up. My job is to minimize the effects that have occurred to you over time, from birth all the way through adolescence, swing sets, bicycles, into adulthood, sporting injuries, auto accidents, etc. These all diminish our potential in neurological function due to what we call the subluxation of the spine, negatively affects the nerves, to make it simple. So let's just rewind. You have 3 categories: how you think, how you eat, and how you move. And you must understand that the better your neurological integrity is to recognize first what you're doing, and then to absorb, to assimilate that healthy behavior into our body, takes really healthy neurological function and neurological integrity. So again, we're neurologically based chiropractors here at 5 Parks Chiropractic in Arvada, Colorado. Have a blessed day.